NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Today we've got an NFC South matchup, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They go play action. Young. And incomplete to open things up. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Young to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38.
Now Etienne to start the drive.
Oh, he sheds himself free. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him, otherwise you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Olave over the middle. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Former first-rounder Derek Brown living up to the billing on that stop.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Olave holds it in.
Called a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 2nd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Young takes it on the sneak.
And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw.
He'll get this complete to the rookie 1st-round pick.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk-reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end. And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
To throw is Shuck.
his throw incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Young.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
A loss of 5 on the play.
Tershawn Wharton,
3rd and 15.
The defensive tackle getting in there for a loss of 5. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
The Carolina offense about ready to go.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Short throw held in by Trimble.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground, Etienne.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jaelan Phillips.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Shuck now to throw. The pass caught by Olave.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
As they've got it as we resume action. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, right back to Etienne.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
This one taken in by Olave.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
They'll throw. Here's Shuck. And that one too wide and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
Possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach Can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 8.
Young.
This is caught by McMillan.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Now here's Young. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable here from the 38. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just float from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Here's Shuck.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field.
And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
Taken down by Pete Werner.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits, and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Young working out of the gun.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Now Shuck.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Throwing, Shuck. He'll try to pick it up himself.
And he slides to a halt inside the 10. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Corner blitz that time by J.C. Horn, and he got home and dropped him. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Looking to put a drive together. It's Young off play action. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Young.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Young to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now Young.
He'll try and do this himself.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
First down, Panthers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Young. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
He was tackled at the 27.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Ryan Fitzgerald
Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Dances by him. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw now, Shock. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for New Orleans. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9.
Right back to Hubbard.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
A give up the middle, Hubbard.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Jaelan Phillips.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
3rd down, Shuck from the gun. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Young. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
5-yard pickup on the
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Young now from the 50.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
It'll be Young again.
They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead.
He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it flow.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start out here with the option left. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do. You know, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8.
To throw is Shuck.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Jaelan Polk,
87 yards.
and the Saints are able to stretch out their lead.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Young. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The play fake, now Young. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw, Young.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Young scrambling and able to pick up the first with his legs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Young now. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Off the play fake, Young. He completes it to Evans. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
On the counter, this is Hubbard.
And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10.
Now Young.
Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. Give them 18 on the play.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
Young off the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hubbard. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Now here's Young.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Again, it's Young. And they're going to get him. They bring it down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And his kick here is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now.
Well, no field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
I give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
So now after the field goal, Fitzgerald back out there to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The tight end in motion right. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
A gain of 2.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
From the gun on third down, here's Shuck. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Here's Young. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Young.
That caught by Tremble.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On play action, Young.
There's Tremble, the tight end.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the fourth quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Throwing, Young. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So now after the field goal, Fitzgerald back out there to send this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Shuck now to throw. That is caught by Jaelan.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Off the option, here's Etienne.
Just past him at the 45. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
61 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
They go play action here with Shuck.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Shuck.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Now Shuck.
And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Out of the gun, it's Young.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A quick throw by Young, caught out wide. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On the give, this is Hubbard. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Incomplete. Keep Warner there defensively.
There's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw now, Shuck. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
And this taken at the 49. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And he's got it to about the 40. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Young. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's Young.
That is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. That one looks like he'll throw here.
We'll get that complete to Jaelan.
Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At their 48-yard line.
Etienne up the middle. And he will have a Saints 1st down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory for them.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.